Well, it is going on 10:30, and this is the night before I head on my trip to Zion National Park. So just want to kind of show you sort of the process of getting ready. And I've actually been working on packing my truck for over a week now, putting the big stuff in, and then you start thinking about all the small stuff and all the small stuff that I'm going to need. So in the backseat area, I have the seats folded flat, which gives me a lot of good storage for stuff. And in this case right here, it's basically all the equipment to choose from as far as microphones, lenses, filters, stuff along those lines. This is really video kit stuff. There's not really anything here from a still camera standpoint. But I have it so this is all accessible, so I can get to it pretty easily. I have a total of 3 tripods with me. In this case, I have 3 series Gitzo and my little 0 series for doing the video setup. The 5 series in the case here. And then back in here, this is the case that has a CO2 tank. I'm not doing any off-roading on this trip, but at the same time, if I'm out somewhere and my tires get a little low, it's nice that I can kind of fill them up as necessary. On the side over here, I have 3 backpacks I'm taking with me. So there's a big red one from Gregory. It's my main pack if I'm hauling around the gear. Bringing along my f-stop gear bag, which is a little bit of a, I guess it's my medium-sized pack. And that one would be really good for traveling very light with the 8x10. And there's some stuff I want to do this year where that will be necessary. Then I have one from Click Elite, which is a super, super lightweight pack, a really good scouting pack. So that would be for like a camera, one lens, and then also like a microphone and some stuff like that. If we go around the back here, film's already loaded in the cooler. So I'll show you how that all is configured. So if we look in here, I have these crumpler cases that have all of the film, and there's 2 film holders each in there. They're actually all loaded. And then the extra film, got 2 boxes of Velvia, and then 3 boxes of Ektar, and 1 box of Delta 100. And then this is the cooling element for the thermoelectric cooler, so air can get in there and kind of cool everything down. So that'll operate as I'm driving, and if it's going to be particularly warm, I can also use that if I'm going to be, basically I'll put a solar panel on the roof. I can work with that. As far as the other stuff, pantry here, got the most important stuff here, cookies. But I have all kinds of snacks and stuff in there. Water, and then in the back here, this is where there's clothing. That's also where the 8x10 is. It's all very accessible, which is nice. And then around here, you see all the backpacks. And then I also have in here, like this case right here, is where 8x10 cameras and lenses and stuff. So basically, it's all set up so that I can get to everything, which is important because there's a tendency for things to become very messy when on the trip as far as stuff all over the place. So my goal this time is to keep things as organized as possible, and that would certainly be a good thing. Then in here, 2 pairs of boots. I take 2 pairs of boots with me because one pair will be a wet pair, the other pair will be a dry pair. And then as far as the new gear I just picked up, new neoprene socks because I lost one of my other ones. New very lightweight dry sack, so I can fill that with water and weight down my camera. And also some lightweight cordage. There's one area that I want to go that would be really cool to take a picture with the 8x10, but I would say that I'm a little concerned in some areas about having the camera on my pack. So if I put the camera in my f-stop pack, I can always tie it off and just kind of pull it up a little bit of a rocky area. But I just gotta make sure I got everything I need, and then hitting the road pretty early in the morning, probably somewhere around maybe, 4 or something. I'll be heading there on a weekday, which is unusual. Normally I head there on a Sunday. So I have a little bit of a traffic to contend with through the Los Angeles area. But pretty excited about it, and looking forward to seeing what I come away with this year. It's time for bed. So the rain begins. Well, I've got the tent set up here, and the rain is just kind of down to a pitter patter now, so a little wet on the inside, but I'm hoping that dries off by the time we get to the evening time here. So far for fall color, I'd say it's right on pace with where it really should be, so that's good that it's on schedule. I was able to get changed, and now I gotta go out into the canyon and evaluate fall color. Here in the Springdale area, the color is just barely starting on the cottonwoods, which is really what I hope to see. I'm hoping that as I head up the canyon, that the maples are going to be in good shape, because that was one of my goals to photograph this year. The maples are so fun to shoot. They're hard to shoot, but they're really fun to shoot. One of my other goals for this year, this being my 7th consecutive year going to Zion for fall color, but one of my goals is to try to find kind of smaller detail shots. I got a lot of shots of the large grand landscape, but looking for some of those sort of detail shots that I can sort of, I don't know, I think it's pretty fun to shoot that sort of stuff. But also to keep an open mind as far as what's out there. I've taken a lot of photos here, but there's so much awesome stuff out here, and definitely would like to get a maple shot this year. So I'm really hoping that as I go up the canyon, I check out that there is maybe not showing prime color yet, but maybe soon, so I can get busy working on those. But time to hit the shuttle bus and see what's going on out there. After getting some lunch, I decided to get my gear together and then head up canyon to check out the progress of the fall color. So I jumped on the shuttle bus, which took me up canyon, and they have the shuttle system in place because it's an incredibly busy national park. The visitation seems to increase every year, and so be prepared for massive crowds on the shuttle buses, and have a hard time to, sometimes you gotta stand because there's literally so many people all over the place, and sometimes maybe not so much. But had the bus to myself, which was pretty cool. But now I am over, I don't know, about halfway up the canyon, and I'm checking out some of the maples that I had photographed in years past, and the picture turned out okay, but there was some compositional stuff about it I think I could do better with. And so I came and visited the maple tree. It is still very green, which is good, because I was worried that I had missed the maples this year, but the maples are looking good, so I'm pretty excited about that. Cottonwoods are also looking pretty good, but now it's time to formulate some sort of plan as far as what to shoot, when to shoot it, kind of work the weather into that. The river is running a little bit high right now, and a lot of sediment in there from the rain that's gone through here in today, as well as past couple days. So the narrows won't be really great, even though the weather's gonna be pretty good for it in the next couple days here. So we'll see how that works out. But this place is an absolute paradise, and it's sometimes hard to find a subject here because there's so much beauty all around you. And I really have to kind of stop and force myself to look at individual trees and rocks and cliffs and all that, because sometimes you just get overwhelmed with so much that's going on. But it's beautiful here, and this is a absolute paradise. I love this place. Well, I spent the afternoon and now into the early evening scouting the status of fall color within the park, and within, actually should say that within the main canyon itself. And the good news is that we're still a ways away from the fall color. So the maples still have their leaves, they're still green, but start to turn color a little bit. And the same is true for the cottonwoods. There's always those trees that lose their leaves a little bit early. And one thing I did notice is that those particular trees, instead of the leaves turning from green to yellow then falling off, it seems more as though the leaves are just kind of turning brown and falling off. So it might still be a bit of a weird year for fall color, but I'm very excited to be here, and it's pretty exciting stuff. It's almost feels a little unreal right now, between getting up at 3:45 in the morning, driving for 8 hours to get here, and setting up my tent in the rain. But now some beautiful clouds up in the sky, so looking forward to do some scouting in the days to come, see if I can find some subjects. I'm pretty happy to say that there's already been about 3 subjects I found that are going to be shootable, but gotta wait for those leaves to turn color a little bit more. I'm really excited to be back and looking forward to seeing what happens in the next week and a half or so. This place is beautiful.
If you love this content and want to help support my journey, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel, telling a friend, or sending a contribution of just $24 a year via PayPal. I depend on the generous support of people like you to produce this ad-free content. Thanks in advance for your support.